You are listening to the Retina UK Talking Creative Arts Peer Support Group meeting recorded Thursday, the 29th of May 2025. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our launch meeting of a brand new peer support group from Retina UK called Talking Creative Arts. This will be the fourth peer support group in our talking series, and we have brought these meetings to our community so you can meet other like-minded individuals, anything from travel, technology, home and garden, and daily living advice. And now we want to learn from everybody about your creative talents. We want to empower you, we want to inspire you, and also we want you to inspire and empower others as well. That's why we have created this brand new peer support group. My name is Mark Baxter. I'm the information and support coordinator. I myself are living with the inherited condition retinitis pigmentosa, and I run our peer support group network. I also host the Talking Tech peer support group, our national peer support group, and also our men's peer support group. And I'm very, very pleased to welcome my co-facilitator, Steve Cox, who is going to share a little bit about himself and also the amazing creative talents that he has, that you will see more of across our social media platforms. So over to you, Steve, and thank you so much for helping me support this brand new peer support group.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, I've got a form of RP called rod cone dystrophy. I've got no peripheral vision left. I've still got some fairly usable central vision. I like making things out of metal, wood, and I also like doing pyrography. Now, I can show you some examples of some of the things that I've made. So I just happen to have some with me. So first off, for those of you that can see it, here is one of the metal dragons. It's all made of metal. The head is made of tube. It's got tube sockets for the eyes. It's got bits of tube for the ears, and then it's got a spiraled piece of metal twisted round to make the body shape. This one is like a snake rearing up with quite large wings. So that's one of the dragons that I do. Also, I do wood turning. So I've made a selection of bowls. There's one here, just a wooden bowl. This one, I think, is the one I showed on the video. It's just an ordinary sort of like fruit bowl type size. So that's another thing that I do in my garage. Also, I like doing pyrography, which is, I've got one picture here, which is of an elephant, which I've also done a video of. So that's some of the things that I like doing. So yeah, that's my interest in it, and I'm interested in what other people like doing. If anybody else has anything they want to share with us, carry on.
Thanks very much, Steve. Would anyone be interested in sort of sharing what they're interested in and what they would like to experience from these peer groups? You know, we could go around the room if everyone's interested. There is no obligation to speak. If you just want to keep yourself muted, then that's absolutely fine. But we could kind of go down the list if anyone has anything, or if anyone wants to just put their hand up, and we can do it that way. You got any hands up?
Yeah, Sue's waving.
Oh, Sue's waving. Hi, Sue. Go on.
Stuart Fleming has joined the meeting alert.
I really enjoy pottery and using clay. And I did go to an evening class a few years ago, just before COVID, where they were very helpful to me. And I later bought a little kiln, and my husband helps me fire the clay. I haven't done so much just lately, but just using the clay in itself is a lovely thing because it's so tactile.
Mm.
Not everyone can have a kiln. Using glazes can be a bit more complicated, but I think anything like that which is very tactile in 3D is very, very lovely to use. And yeah, I really enjoy that.
Excellent.
I have got a sculpture I could show you actually. I'll go and get it and bring it in. You carry on.
Do you use a pottery wheel as well? Do you
I haven't actually used the wheel. I just do sort of like coil, just make coils, and you can use slab clay. Really, you can make virtually anything by hand, really. But no, I haven't actually trained to use the wheel. But, and obviously you have that. There's been a pottery program on the TV.
Yes.
Which actually is really, really quite good for picking up tips and things. And they're obviously very, they decorate their work a lot going on there. But no, it's a lovely thing, clay work, I think.
Excellent. I mean, it would be nice to see, and this was another outcome that we would like from all of our community that have interests in the creative arts. It would be great for you all to showcase your creative talents at an in-person event that is hosted by Retina UK. To get your artwork out there, noticed, and even even if you wanted to sell a few pieces, we really do want our community to be able to inspire others that may have thought, well, I can't see anymore. What's the point in doing painting or sculpting or anything like that? That couldn't be more further from the truth. If you've still got that hidden talent, you can still create things, masterpieces, and we want everyone to share them and show them off, and if anybody would be interested, like what Steve has done, in filming themselves making or creating, that we can share across our Instagram, or we could actually put a montage of videos together, then that could also be something that we can share to inspire and empower. So, but thank you very much. And if you actually got anything, we could turn this into a bit of a show and tell, couldn't we? So,
Yes. I'll go and get my sculpture thing to show.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
John's got his hand up.
John, hi, John. You've got your hand up.
Yeah, hi, Mark. So I'll show you what my interest in creativity is. I don't create anything physical, but I dabble in writing poetry.
Oh, far away.
But some of it's serious, but a lot of it's humorous. So that's what I like doing. I get really into a flow when I'm in the mood to, and it's lovely to produce something at the end of the day.
Oh no, excellent. If you've got anything that you would like to share, we often like to share all sorts of blogs, and creative works, writing, stories, everything like that across our website as well. Again, we want to share more information from community on our website. So if you've got anything, I myself used to write, I still do, write about my experiences, whether it's a fundraising trek or something that I've got a passion for. My latest story, it's a short story, but again, it's in poetry form, and that's all about adrenaline. That's my latest one, all of the adrenaline sports that I've done, activities, and why I love to do those things. It's raising money is one thing, but it's the buzz and it's the thrill of doing those events. And I've shared it with my colleagues, but it's one of the ones that I still just need to add onto the website. So, but what I might do is, if anyone's got anything that they would like to share, photos or works that they've done, please send them over to me. and in the follow-up email, then we can actually attach them and people can read them at their own leisure. And that's something that I will do with some of the stories that I've actually written over the years. So you can have a little bit of a giggle and a laugh reading those. And Steve has kindly sent me a few videos of him making his masterpieces, which, you know, we will share with community, and also some photos as well. And what I will do is I will use the very clever Seeing AI to audio describe them as well, so you know exactly what you are looking at.
Yeah, I can send you a handful of things, and you might want to include one of at least one of them. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll let you choose.
Excellent. No, I'm intrigued. I really am intrigued. But no, thank you very much.
Okay. I'm interested to know if any other writers on this call, and if not, how we encourage people who do write onto this as well.
We do have we do have another member of community that writes amazing blogs, you know, about you know their sight loss experience, you know, and some of them are so powerful as well, you know, it really does make you want to, wow, you know, this person's really clever. So it's just getting them out there, you know, and for everybody to read everyone's stories, their journeys, what they've experienced in their lives, both, you know, struggles and challenges, but also achievements and things that you can be proud of. And that is why we want people to come forward, you know, and that's why I'm on a searching mission to find our community that have got these hidden talents, where we can share them, you know, to the rest of our community and further afield as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thank you, Mark.
No worries. No, thanks very much for sharing.
Sue's back.
Oh, Sue.
And then Lottie's got her hand up.
Right. Okay. So Sue has got one of her.
Oh, can you see my sculpture?
Yeah, it's just in the bottom of the screen. That's it.
It's a very heavy piece actually. Well, when I went to the pottery class, and they sort of welcomed me along, they let me sit in the middle of the room so that I could be helped as easy as possible. But they were sort of teaching pottery, and then we sort of got on to doing our own thing. And she asked, the teacher said, what would I like to make? And I said, I'd really like to make a head. And I decided to make a green man. And this actually weighs a ton, this thing, it really does. And it sort of went from one thing to another. I wanted to make it a sort of piece about climate change, really. So I managed to make the head. I don't know if you can see the figure there, anybody.
What we can do also.
I could send a picture to you.
If you're okay to send a photo, then I'll put it into the app.
It's a very tactile thing. He's covered with vines and leaves. They're sort of growing out of his head, really. And he's sort of trying to say something. You can see that he's got his mouth open. He's trying to speak. And he's got sort of various sort of creatures on him. There's sort of like a bird and a frog and a snail and a beetle and all sorts of things. And it's sort of on his head, there's a rose. And I sort of, really, it was about sort of the last of everything, because as things are disappearing, you know, usually it's 2 by 2 going into the ark, but now he's just 1 by 1, and it's sort of like the last flower. So that's really what it was all about, really. Wow, but yeah, I'm very proud of my head because you know.
And that's exactly what it
not myself, my own head, but
well, that's where the imagination comes.
Yeah, because it sort of worked, you know. And I painted. She gave me some sort of glazed paints, so he's got colours on him as well. And it's very tactile. So even for a blind person, even if you couldn't see it, you could feel it and work out what it was about. And that's a lovely thing with pottery. It's special, I think, pottery.
That is amazing. We went to a sensory art gallery exhibition, and everything you could get hands on with. And
Yeah.
some of these sculptures, they weren't necessarily made by the visually impaired, but they
Mm.
were for the visually impaired in mind. And
Mm.
some of them were just amazing sculptures. And I was just literally getting hands on with all sorts of
Mm.
metalwork, pottery, one that was made loads of hands sticking out the ground. It was some of it was
Mm.
very, very cerebral, you know.
Mm.
It was like I would love to know what they were thinking when they were making these sculptures.
Mm.
You know, there was one that looked like a giant fish skeleton that all of its rib cage all span around. You know, it was all on this
Mm.
big bar. I was overwhelmed, and I thought that was kind of what inspired me to create this group.
Mm.
It's like if there's these people out
Mm.
there that can put these exhibitions together, that blew me away. It's like, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to bring our community together to do
Mm.
exactly the same. You know, so you can bring your artworks, show
Mm.
them off, you know, and let people experience that, get
Mm.
hands on with them if that's okay with everybody. So, but thank you very much for sharing that. So I'd love to see a photograph of that as well that we can share in our follow up. So
Oh, thank you.
thank you. Lottie, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, hello, Mark and everyone. I wasn't too sure what to say. I used to do a lot of printmaking, so etching and screen printing and lino cuts. And my daughter, I don't know if you can see this, is holding something, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That's one of the last ones I did around 2010, 2011. But and what I found was that stuff got smaller and that there was a great deal more contrast. So I started to use quite strange colours, and in some things it was fine, and in other things it just got very frustrating. So I started the search for the different artistic project, and I tried pottery. I did have a go at it, but
has joined the meeting alert.
got very, very sort of frustrated. So I'm an artist in search of a project, but I do write, and I have a book that I am talking to publishers about, and I have a story that appeared, I think, in 2016 that was inspired by RP, and I'm happy to share that. But I tend to write short stories. Mostly, I tend to write short. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. But I've tried knitting. I'm not very good at that. So I get very frustrated. I get distracted, and I sort of start off with things, and I can't count them, and then I lose stitches, and the whole unravels. So I'm definitely looking for inspiration for something that's tactile to replace the screen printing. So we'll find out. I'm interested in what other people are doing.
What about card making? You know, like tactile card making.
I used to do that. And I still could. I think it's one of those things in that I think it's going to have to be something I haven't done before. I don't know if you've done something and you were quite pleased with the results. How do you? Sometimes it's enough to enjoy the process, and other times you want a result.
Right.
That sounds really strange. I think I couldn't do screen printing because I would just be too annoyed at what came out. But maybe I could do just marbling. That might be quite good because I've got no idea what I actually want to see at the end of it, or whether I can see anything at the end of it. So I should have said my site. I've got RP. I've got Ushers actually, and I think the colours have gone, so things are either light or dark, and I've got no peripheral vision and the very sort of reduced central vision. So it's just a change, and I think that trying to find something that you enjoy doing at the time and not sort of berating yourself because you haven't got the result you hope to get, but trying to pick something. I mean, I love pottery because I love the idea of using hands and having something tactile. So yeah, it's just I don't know, felt making. You know, all that stabby stuff, that could be quite good.
Mm.
So I don't know. Does anyone do felt making? That might be my next mad project. just to see what happens. So yeah, I usually find that when I start getting enthused about something like, I don't know, something like metal working or something, people around me get quite concerned and start sort of shuffling away, and I think, oh, they don't really trust me, do they?
with flames and blow torches and
Yep.
yeah.
Have you tried collage work?
Yeah, I have.
So using anything you can find really to make something, you know, a tactile surface really,
Yeah.
or materials that you like the feel of.
Yeah, definitely. No, the nice thing is I have a daughter who enjoys raiding my old supplies. So we sit there and, you know, sometimes it can be enough just to hold paper that is wonderfully ragged.
Yeah.
It's just a lovely thing. I think for me, a lot of it is detaching myself away from the results. And if I can do that, then I have a bit more fun. But if I start sort of judging things, then I can end up quite stressed.
I know I tried crocheting recently and I thought I must be able to crochet, but I found that really difficult.
So
I
did I.
I don't know whether I could knit, possibly because you've got the needles to hold on to. But you've got to be, you know, once you've got a technique, I'm sure you could do it, but as you say, you get frustrated when the stitches drop off and things.
Yeah. I did do crocheting, and I thought that was probably easier than knitting, actually. Not necessarily.
I found crochet quite difficult, but maybe it was me. I know what you mean though.
I think it was easier with the crochet. I think it's easier to work out if you've done something wrong and dropped the stitch. Whereas with knitting, it's quite easy to keep going and then realise down that you've actually wrecked the entire thing, and then try and work out where you've gone. But the one thing I did learn was that if you can get thicker wool that separate,
you can feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think
big needles and big
needles,
big
and
wool.
yeah.
The other thing I was thinking was weaving, very simple weaving.
I haven't done it.
And they do like, what do they call it? Is it peg weaving? Which I haven't quite worked out. They have sort of like these wooden doweling pegs. Simple weaving. I've got to try and work out how to do that. So that's very tactile.
I did get one from a craft shop, which was a bit like a bigger French knitting doll.
Oh yes.
I thought that would be quite, if you could work out what to do, all that sort of sausage-like little wool.
Oh yes, and you can make a coil. Yeah.
But yeah, the pegboard thing is actually sort of more complicated than you think.
What, the peg weaving?
Yeah, it was more quickly than I thought it would be. I think
it's
easier to do crochet or knitting.
I'm definitely going to have a go at weaving.
Yeah.
Or make a simple loom. A box with a square.
Beautiful. It's that kind of making rags from old.
Yeah.
So rag rugs.
Yes, that's right.
And I think that could work.
Yeah. We'll have to have a go at all these things.
I think you do because I really do.
You will find something. You will.
I will. I definitely will. But at the moment, it's I don't have that tactile thing, and I find it hard in the winter months.
Yeah. When you want to occupy yourself.
TV thing, and I'm not interested. I kind of wouldn't mind having something I can get on with that isn't
just pick up and put down something. Yeah. Yeah.
I knit and crochet.
Very good.
And sew a bit, and I tried felting for the first time. That's my little dog. I'm like you. My central vision is I've got central vision. My peripheral vision is disappearing. But I feel, I don't know. I suppose I worry that I don't know how quickly my peripheral vision is going to disappear. I feel like I'm in a hurry to try and get everything done before before that happens. But my mum actually did. She used to make sugar flowers, for wedding cakes. It was beautiful, beautiful, very delicate. And a couple of years ago, she got rid of everything because she said, I can't do it anymore. And she's recently joined a little art group for people with vision impairment. And she's created this week out of air drying clay a little rose using the same techniques. But she worries because her colour vision's gone. So she worries about getting the same sort of delicate sort of results that she used to get, but it's feeling the benefit of using the air dry clay. So I might give that a go because I worry about, sometimes you worry about I don't know, sort of like getting really into something, then
you can't
the disappointment of not being able to do it anymore. So yeah, but it's interesting, and I did a jewelry class a couple of years ago, which was fine, but it's quite difficult to see the very fine detail. So that people produce the most beautiful jewelry, and I was like, okay, here's mine. But yeah, knitting, crochet, I don't know. I think you have to get it, sort of do it well enough to be able to do it by muscle memory, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Steve, I was going to say to Steve, how do you, will you, if you don't mind me asking, you've still got some good vision. Would you be able to carry on, with the skills that you've actually learned with your welding, and your wood turning, to learn to be able to do it with limited vision and still be able to get the results that you're looking for? Is that something that you'd ever give up? Because for me, I can't see half the things I've made anymore, but it won't ever stop me from carrying on making them, because I can take a photograph of it, or I can show it to someone, they can tell me the end result, but I know when I feel my hands around it, I'm happy with that. And I'm quite a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to doing things, but sometimes a little bit of unevenness or asymmetry makes things look better. So, and anyway, you can turn around and say, I'm visually impaired, I made that, and still be proud of it, and other people should be proud for you as well. So Steve, what are your tips and hints about moving forward?
Well, I find the welding side of putting the dragons together really difficult now, but I've overcome that a little bit by having a really bright sort of like, like the passive infrared lights that you have in a porchway, which is like a spotlight. I've got one of those, and I shine that on the area that I want to weld before I put my visor down, and that gives me just enough to be able to see where to put the nozzle of the welder before I start. As soon as I pull the trigger and it starts welding, the visor darkens, so I have a job to see anything. So I just have to do it in very small bursts. If I didn't have any vision at all, I don't think I'd be able to weld. The other stuff I'd probably still be able to do. I'd be able to cut the shapes of the dragons, etc. But I think I would have to get someone else to tack weld it together doing that. The bowl turning, I know that is definitely possible when you're completely blind, because there is a chap that's on the internet and that he does it, and he taught himself to turn wood once he went blind. So that I could probably carry on with. The pyrography, you only need to see a very small area at a time, because I can never see the whole picture, only just a tiny bit of it. So that I'll probably be able to carry on with for quite a while, I think. But not when I'm completely blind, because there's no tactile sort of stimuli to doing the, apart from if you put your hands on something that's really hot.
We don't want to do that. We want to be safe when we're actually doing our arts and crafts, no injuries. But I think it's all about adapting. How can we carry on doing the things that we love doing, and adapting our other senses to be able to create the masterpiece that you're looking, to do. And I don't mean, using, like your sense of taste when you're doing pottery. That's not going to taste very good, is it? But other using your hands, my sense of touch is pretty unique in terms of if I've tried everything from laying garden slabs to tiling, all sorts of things, and I know the difference between if something's not quite level, I can feel a tiny fraction of a millimeter, and I thought that's not right. I need to tweak that a little bit. I need to bring one side up, one side down, and then run my fingers over. I know how smooth that is, and that's the result that I want to get. So it is actually sort of using our other senses to actually pick up on where our sight is falling down, and it's all about adapting. It's like, well, I can't do it anymore. But the way I look at things is that I can't do it that way. Is there another way of doing it? And as Steve says, there are certain things that where for health and safety reasons, it would be, to get someone to give you a hand. But the more that you can try and do yourself by adapting different ways of doing things and using different tools, I've made so many of my own tools because you can't buy them in the shops because they don't make tools that are visually impaired. So I thought, well, if I can't buy it or find it, then I'll make it. It helps me with things to be a bit more precise and a little bit more accurate, when making all the odds and bits and pieces that I make. I'm actually making a white cane at the moment that's when it's collapsed, it's a telescopic one. So when it's actually collapsed, it's only 22 centimeters in length. And you can pop it in your pocket or your handbag, and then you take the lid off and you can flick it out, and it's about, I think it's about 1 meter 30. So I can't do the spray painting of it because I'll end up getting more paint on me, the furniture, the dogs. So I kind of leave that to Caroline. But a lot of the intricate sort of cutting, and getting everything to fit inside each other and the drilling and everything, I am still pretty capable of doing that. And again, I've got no vision in one eye and very, very limited vision in my left. So, but I kind of just sometimes use the force, if that makes sense, and if it goes wrong, then I go, okay, what did I do wrong? And can I fix it? And if I can, then, I'll go for a second try. So.
Keith has his
Oh,
hand up.
Keith has got his
Audio
hand.
now unmuted alert. Go ahead.
You're right, Keith.
Oh, hello. Yes. Hi. Well, I must say I'm much impressed by the skill and expertise and experience of these people. I feel quite inferior. My interest in the arts is largely as an appreciator, as it were, of art history, and indeed going to galleries and feeling things. I go to touch tours quite a lot, and I'm very interested, therefore, in sculpture. I now have no sight at all. I've got RP, and I've got everything's now gone. I used to use acrylics. I used to paint landscapes in acrylics, and more recently, I've taken to doing drawings using German film. I don't know whether you're familiar with that. It's a sort of plastic which you can draw on with a.
Available. Your battery is running low. Dialogue. Close button Alt plus C. Alt plus C. Zoom meeting window. Zoom meeting window.
Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, yeah, I've just plugged it in. Okay, yeah, and I do drawings with that, so you can actually sort of feel what you're doing as you're going. And in fact, about 10 years ago, Southampton Art Gallery gave a group of us who go to the touch tours the opportunity to curate an exhibition from their permanent collection, and invited us to make responses to it. And I picked a work by a sculptor called Barry Flanagan, who specialises in bronze castings of anthropomorphized hares. And I did a drawing of a hare, shadow boxing, in fact, the boxing hare. But I showed this hare boxing its shadow against the wall, and I did this in German film, and they mounted this, and it was in the art gallery for, I don't know, about 3 months. And also I tend sometimes to use, well, I can't get a hold of it now, but I used to use sort of balsa dowel, sort of square cross section it's about, I suppose, 4mm by 4mm, something like that. And I've got a piece which is on my piano now, which I call Golden Gate, which is a framework, I suppose, consisting essentially of 2 squares and some diagonals, and all the proportions are in golden ratio. And in order to produce this, although it's a precisely measured piece, I didn't use any rule or ruler, but instead I did all the measurements by folding paper.
Oh, wow.
Which is because, as I say, you can fold squares to produce something which is the length of √2 times the side of the square, and so on and so forth. So I've got this, and it's standing on my piano, and the leading up to it, the base of it, is like a garden path, which I made with air dry clay, tiles of different sizes, which are in the Fibonacci sequence, which is also related to the golden ratio. But I do like to use air dry clay. I've got no practical skills or training in sort of proper pottery work, as it were, but I do use that, and indeed I did a skiing hare for another exhibition in Southampton Art Gallery that only sort of about 10 centimeters tall. And it was just part of a larger exhibit. So yeah, that's what I like doing. And also, about a couple of years ago, I made the acquaintance of a lady whose first degree was in English, and she has corrupted me into attending open mic poetry sessions, which I do twice a month, which means I have to produce two pieces a month. But being visually impaired, I have I have the advantage that they will tolerate my work because it has to be brief enough for me to remember, whereas the other contributors to the open mic session read their works. I can't do that. So it's got to be brief. And so therefore, what my poetry lacks in quality, it compensates for in its brevity. And so therefore, as I say, it is tolerated from that point of view. Yeah, so that's my sort of current
brilliant
artistic endeavour, shall we say, endeavours.
I learn something new about you every day, Keith, and I've known you for a long time.
Brilliant.
No, that's brilliant. If you've got any your poetry or anything you've made and you want to share photographs of it.
Yeah. Well, my introductory piece it's only a few lines, and I call it "The Way I See It." Wouldn't it be good if everything looked as it should? No clashing colours seen, blue never worn with green. Faces of those we know as they were 20 years ago. No hair of grey in the mirror every day. Flowers that do not droop even though they make us stoop. Now I cannot see. What I behold pleases me. For without my sight I imagine colours bright. And as I go about, with my thoughts imperfections smooth out.
Bravo.
So that's, as I say, that what it lacks in quality, it makes up for in brevity.
Excellent stuff. Now, has anyone else got anything that they would like to share? This is this is really fascinating, to learn about what we love to do, what makes us happy, and what we can share with others as well. Is anyone?
Sue's got something else to
Yes.
show us.
Oh, Sue's got something else to show us. Oh,
My father was blind as well. Had RP, and he was a trained carpenter and a farmer. But when he retired, he took up his wood carving, and he made a white stick, and he was well known for this stick wherever he went, particularly at Newmarket because there's the horse racing there, and he carved this little head of a horse. It's beautifully carved. It's sort of like the handle of the top of the stick, and it's got sort of details of its ears and nose, and it's just a lovely thing, really. It's very tactile. It's, that's my dad. And I just thought I'd show you. I don't know if you can see that on there, anybody.
Yeah, it looks great.
yeah, wow.
Very detailed.
Creativity runs in the family then.
Definitely wood and drawing and painting, that sort of thing. It's just there, isn't it, in some people, I suppose. But yeah. But it's such a tactile thing, and although you couldn't see, you could still carve and make things. And I've got a little bird box, was the last thing he made on that outside of the house. We could still do it, and yeah.
That's good. I think Keith mentioned about. Oh, sorry, go on. Just briefly, Keith mentioned about drawing on German. Was it? You can actually buy it from like model and craft shops, which again is very tactile. You can draw onto foil. It's like foil drawing, and when you then flip it up back the other way around, everything becomes embossed and very tactile. I think sometimes they do it in primary school for kids and stuff like that. You can make all sorts of things using stencils and stuff. So if anyone is thinking, oh, what can I get up to, sort of pop down to an arts and crafts shop, retailer, and have a little look around, and say, well, what can I do? What's very tactile, and you'd be surprised what you can find and what you can still make as well. So
I think Merrick was going to say something.
Merrick, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I wanted to say something. Thanks for giving me the privilege to talk. Actually, I'm a poet, and I've published. It's on Amazon. My book is on Amazon as Stalled Reasoning, but just laying there because I've not been making any sales there. Maybe because I cannot operate internet like every other person who do that. And along the line, I like writing. Before now, I've written a lot of research that I publish in journals back home and some international journals. And recently, I have about 42 poems just lying down here. And I've been looking for how to publish them, and even gone to Pegasus, or whatever, Austin Macaulay, and sent some to CAA, and though I haven't had some response, and I used some for poetry contests just recently. I did them last week. And though I haven't had any feedback from them. So I'm a kind of person that like anything creativity. I write scripts, film scripts, and I also sing. Maybe, I don't know whether you listened to one of my songs when I wanted to contest for the Looks, the music contest that just passed.
Okay.
So I published some songs on YouTube. In fact, everything. I'm a poet, I'm a songwriter, I'm a script writer, and I sing. So these are the things I like, and I would like to meet people that are also in this line of creativity. Those are the things that give me joy.
Right, excellent. If you've got anything, Merit, that you would like to share in terms of your poetry or your stories or anything like that, please send things over to us. YouTube, you mentioned YouTube is always a great platform. And something else that we want to share our community's creativity on, and anything really, is our Instagram and our TikTok accounts as well. So if there is anything that you want to share, whether it's a song you've written and you want to record yourself singing it, or just sitting with one of your poems, and we could call it Poetry Corner. Anything that you want to share, then please fire it over my way. I'm going to put my mobile number in the chat box. So if anyone wants to share any videos, photos, or anything with me via WhatsApp, if you use that, it's probably the easiest and the cheapest way of sending videos and photos over to me. We will compile something that we can perhaps share on our website.
Yeah, just last week, I took some crews to some of my crew members to North Greenwich. That we went there to do some music video in one of the buildings there. So sunny. So it's not everything that I could see at that moment because of the sun. So, and by Monday or Tuesday, the video will be coming out on the YouTube. I'll publish it on DistroKid, and you'll see it on the YouTube.
Brilliant. Well, anything that you've already uploaded to your YouTube channel, please share it with us. It will be great to share what you've done, and so we can share it across for those that unfortunately weren't able to make tonight's meeting. We can share it with them as well. So yeah, and that's to everybody. Caroline's put my telephone number in. It's also in the emails that I send out, and if anybody has got their phone or a pen or paper near them, I will be able to share my telephone number with you all, which I'll do before we finish this evening. So if you've got a chance to grab a pen, paper, or a voice recorder, I will share my telephone number with you, so you can actually share stuff with me.
Can I just say something? I don't know whether you can hear me.
Yes.
You can. I'm Fiona, and I'm sorry I'm very late, but 7 o'clock is a really tricky time for me. I was just thinking about the poetry side of things. I live in Eastbourne. There are at least 2 poetry groups that I know of here, and they're all very encouraging to have other people to join them. And I'm sure that you would find poetry groups that would be willing to, to be involved with you as well. Nothing to do with sight loss, but they are just poetry groups for people who want to write poetry together.
Yeah,
okay. Normally, I write longer poems. I had wanted to read one for you that has to do with my experience as I'm a migrant. So I put it down here. I have so many things about my experience in UK, and that has to do with my sight loss. The Bivani or who on a BEM, Black, Asians, and minority ethnic group, whatever. So there's one poem I submitted to her that was read on their website, and she published it on YouTube. That has to do with my the retinitis pigmentosa. So it's there on YouTube too. Then, and the one I submitted to creative, young creative writers. I think is this Resilient Wanderer. I submitted to them recently. I haven't got any feedback anyway from them.
Well, if Fiona, if it's okay to share, if anyone has any information around poetry groups, or poetry, federations or associations or anything like that that you've heard of or you're familiar with, please send them to me, and I will gather that information, which I can share in the follow-up email. So, Merit, you can make some sort of further inquiries to see if there's any other avenues where you can share your creative writing and your poetry. I can do that for you.
I can do that. There
Excellent.
are a number of groups that I can think of, because I've done some writing in the past myself, but I now concentrate on painting rather than poetry.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Excellent.
I also have some fiction. I have some unpublished novels here. There's fictionalized stories that I have. They are unpublished. I need some touches of editing them. I can't stay long in the computer. That's the challenge I have. But sometimes I detect to my phone, and my phone will record, and later I'll go through them,
Fleming has left the meeting alone.
to edit it. So can I give you just one of my poems?
Sorry, we've just looked at the time, Mary. If you're happy to share your poems with us, then we can actually share them out. I've just looked at the time, and we're coming up to 8, and I think John
and
Moni have got their hands up that want to share. But if you've got anything, any videos, anything that's on YouTube, please forward them over to me. You can reply to the email that you got, the auto response email. Just reply to that, and that will come straight through to my inbox. And I'll also give my email address in the comments box as well as my phone number, so you can email me directly as well. So but thanks very much for sharing. Moni, go John first. John, then Moni.
Oh no, it was just a quick comment really to say Keith, I totally empathise with you about trying to remember longer poems. Shorter ones, yes. Longer ones, almost certainly I'll probably make a mistake. I've thought about dabbling and getting some AI program to clone my voice to read them for me.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I might investigate that. Thank you.
No worries, John. Thanks very much. I'm going to look into that as well, because I'm exactly the same. I have no memory when it comes to rehearsing stuff, and remembering lines and whatnot. So I'm going to actually see if I can research that. If I've come up with anything, I'll let you know. So thanks very much. Moni, you've got a question.
Hi, yes, I do have a question. Just very quickly, I suppose it's especially targeted at writers. I'm just seeking a little bit of inspiration. So I've always preferred writing using pen, pen to paper, but because of RP, I've had to opt for digital use, and I'm finding that quite challenging in the sense that I often just experience screen/tech fatigue, and I'm just wondering whether anyone's got any examples of ways that I could carry on writing, or that's as close to writing on pen to paper, so that I can continue to enjoy my writing experience.
Audio now. The host
Nicola's got a hand up.
Oh, Nicola's got a hand up.
Sorry, are you using text to speech and speech to text, or you typing?
No, so I'm mainly just mainly just typing. I haven't tried any sort of Audible.
If you're using like Microsoft products, there's a number of apps that you can use that do speech to text. So I always say that the wrong way around. But if you're using like Microsoft products, Word's accessible. Look at Word's accessibility functions. and they do quite a nice speech to text and text to speech, so you can read it back. The only problem is that you have to speak in full sentences. And some of the people I'm working with, for example, who have visual impairments, don't speak in full sentences, so it takes a little bit of you might need a bit of help to sort that out. But some of the newer apps are quite good.
Yeah, I've got
that just might be a way.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got Envision AI, which does good speech to text. Whenever I use it for emails, for sending emails, which saves a lot of time.
What's it called? Sorry.
It's Envision AI.
Okay.
I use it for, as I say, for emails and for text messages, WhatsApp messages, and so on. The only thing is, you do have to sometimes check it. It might not say quite the word that you think it has said, but it's clear enough to check it, and then you just sort of go back and go to the point where you think the mistake is, and then key it in with I've got the button keypad on my phone, and I just use that to edit it. And it also does commas and full stops and other punctuation marks and new lines once you get used to saying it properly in the way that it interprets it, so that it does actually put in a comma rather than the word COMMA. But I find that saves me a great deal of time.
Okay, thank you.
Just for getting your thoughts, a bulk of thoughts down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it might just take some of that
writing
visual
a rough draft.
fatigue,
you just speak
yeah.
it. Yeah, and also, of course, I read Braille, use Braille, so I Braille them as well sometimes. If it's something I want to learn, then I can Braille it and sort of carry it around with me, as it were. Like you would a piece of paper. Well, it is a piece of paper.
Yeah, I tend to dictate mine first as well, with speech to text on iPad, and then I'll refine it on either on that or on the computer.
Yeah.
But the bulk of it is already there then, and you've got something to go with. And also, because poetry is best read aloud, it's fascinating to me that when you get the software to read it back, that's actually quite revealing.
It is, yes.
And it actually makes you improve what you've written as well.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Is speech to text on iPad, is that the name of the app on iPad?
It's inherently built into it.
Oh, okay. I'll have a look.
So, I mean, when I write on social media, like Facebook and stuff, I use like the voiceover on my phone. Obviously you can use dictation stuff as well. That can be quite good.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So if you go into the settings and look for and find the accessibility functions, it's all in there.
That's right. Yeah.
Settings accessibility.
Can
I make
Thank you.
Or you could try just pressing Windows plus H. That brings up the dictation.
Yeah.
If you have Windows 10 or 11.
Can I make a suggestion, Lottie here? You said you were writing things, and there is a way if you have an iPad, which is that you have.
Sorry, Lottie, you're breaking up.
I think it's probably our dishwasher. Sorry, it's gone off. Don't worry.
Fiona's got a hand up. Fiona, have you got something to add or question?
Well, I was going to. I mean, as a journalist, which I am still, I use the dictating a lot, and as I said, it's quite useful to look at and then read back. It gets your thoughts down, and I find it incredibly helpful.
Is that an app?
I just use my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
It's like a button, I think. Is it a circular button? And then you can use it, and then it'll have dictation on, and then you can take it off. Just make sure you have to use your voice for punctuation, I think, as well. So I don't think it does that automatically.
You have to say things like comma and question mark and things like that, but it works. It's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Oh, thank you, everyone.
Excellent. If there is any features, Moni, that you haven't enabled on your iPhone in terms of accessibility, I do have a walkthrough guide that I put together for iPhones and Samsungs, so
Oh,
you
that'd
can
be
turn
good.
on
Yeah.
certain functions. It speaks screen, so you can actually say, I'm not going to wake up Siri, but you can say, hey, S, speak screen, and it will read whatever you've written. I use it all the time when proofreading emails that I'm actually putting together. So I'll use the dictation to write them, and then I'll use the speak screen to actually read over them to make sure they sound all right. Again, with Apple products and Samsung alike, they're not very good at adding punctuation or grammar or anything like that. But it's a case of some things you've got to do manually. But if you've got a massive long thing to write, it's very easy to just to dictate it all, and then you can actually use. But if anyone's interested in that user guide, I can pop that into the follow-up as well. So you guys go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please. Yes.
Yeah, there's lots of features that a lot of people may not even know exist. But I put it together, and if anyone's got anything that they think, oh, something's missing, let me know, and I'll add it. It's like a kind of an ever-evolving document that I put together. So, but thank you everybody for joining this evening. It's now 10 past. If anyone does want to take my email address down, it's just Mark, MARK .Baxter, BAXTER at retinauk.org.uk. Easily you can you can email services@retinauk.org.uk. That will come to me as well. And my direct mobile number is 07889 595 if anybody wants to share any of their creative works with me, whether it will be poetry, whether it be photos, videos, it will be great to put this all together in a follow-up email which we can share with everyone that was unfortunately not able to make it this evening. But has anyone got any final thoughts, questions, or anything? And before we leave, and
Can I just ask whether it's always going to be at 7 o'clock in the evening? Because 7 o'clock is really awkward for me.
What time what works? We usually do our peer support groups at 7, but if that is awkward for people, then is it every day at 7?
Yeah, it's we have students and it's supper time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we try to do it. What would 7:30? Because
that would be a great help. I could get them to eat early, but I can't get them to eat much earlier. It's right across their dinner time, so I can get them to eat a bit early, but 7:30 would be fab.
Well, if see 7:30 will take it to 8:30, which might make it too late for people. We try to run all of our peer support groups between 7 and 8.
I know, that's why I keep missing them.
I'm so sorry. It's hard to try, and we used to do them at 6, but then they were too early. But that's why a lot of our online peer support groups we do record. So if there is anybody that misses it because of the time or the day, then it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which you can listen to at your leisure. And if you do register, then we'll make sure that you're added to the mailing list and also kept up to date with the follow-up emails as well. But it is something that I can look into. If people find 7 o'clock is not an appropriate time, we'll try and work something out for the future meetings.
Thank you.
No, thanks very much. Steve, is there anything that you would like to share with us before we wrap up?
I think I've about covered most of it. I mean, I told you earlier about that video that I'm going to make out of making a dog whistle out of a door handle. So that I will be coming to you once I've made it. But apart from that, no, I think it's been a very good session today, and there's a lot of good ideas there.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thanks very much for supporting and sharing some of your creations. I've actually got one of Steve's dragons that he made for us, and it sits pride of place on my radiator cover in my living room. So I love it to bits. So and if anybody is coming to our conference in London this year, which will be held on the 20th of September. Steve has kindly offered to make some of his creations and bring them with us. So they will be available to purchase from the Retina UK stall. So if anyone wants one of Steve's little dragons or one of his bowls to put your keys in, or any of his pyrography artwork, then please come along and join us for what will be an amazing conference where we will be sharing 50 years of Retina UK. We celebrate our 50th anniversary this year. So our conference in Regent's Park on the 20th of September in London is going to be a really good one. So we hope that you can all make it. More information will be available on our website very soon in terms of the programme. It starts from 10:30 till 4:30 on Saturday the 20th, which is our 20th September. That's our annual, and then on the 19th of September we've got our professionals conference as well. So it's going to be 2 days of really exciting news, information, talks, focus groups, technology. It's going to be really good, so we hope you can all make it. And I really do appreciate everyone coming this evening. Please sign up to our newsletter if you haven't already done so, to keep up to date with all news and information from Retina UK in terms of our other talking peer groups. We've got our Summer National coming up towards the end of June, which I'm putting the agenda for at the moment. And also our next Home and Garden and our next Talking Tech peer group will be over the next couple of months as well. So, but I do really appreciate all of you sharing your experiences and your creative talents on this launch meeting of our Talking Creative Arts. It's been a pleasure to learn from you all. So thank you, everyone. Massive thank you to Steve. And also to Caroline for helping us with the comms. And we hope to see you at the next one. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via our helpline on 0300 111 4000, call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.